I'll never forget when I opened my eyes and they took me to the countryside, seeing everything green and beautiful. All I did was smile. The years passed, becoming slow and harsh. My childhood went along were beautiful, and for the rest of my life I had to see and witness contempt and ridicule from a young age. There were very few good moments, going from house to house and family to family was one hell after another. Every year there were new faces, new conversations, new lies, new disappointments, new parents, new relatives, new disconnection, new elections, new injustice. Every home that he took me to was a hell, a disgrace. The rejection and bullying that era in which I was born was chaotic. There were no fair laws, and girls had to do what men said. Even as adults, I always lived and witnessed how women were controlled by their husbands and weren't even allowed to go into their own gardens, because it was believed at that time that they would sleep with their neighbors. I would have missed and lived it with relatives, strange and proper. I didn't. I witnessed as a child and as an adult, and I wouldn't wish it on the 6 men who killed me, nor on those who ordered my murder. You have to have a truly rotten heart to control people's states and countries without any understanding of them. But what do you wish it on the sensitivity? The only time I remember being happy was when I first looked for a job and spoke with a white-haired man who owned a private jet station. He told me his whole story. It was just him and his beautiful wife. I remember I was only about 18 years old at that time, before I became famous. I remember that day I had my natural red hair and freckles on my cheeks. I loved them, but as the years passed, my freckles disappeared. The only time I could truly be happy was when I was alone and sang the songs of that era, which I learned by heart. Till I was alone in the garden, in the woods, or while bathing, I would always sing, making sure no one heard me. Because in my time, for a poor girl to sing was synonymous with becoming a prostitute or a... In those times, only women and girls could sing if they were rich and white or artists. The poor, even if white, if they didn't come from a rich and powerful family, had no rights. And as they said derogatively, the same was true for Black African Americans. Years passed, and my childhood, adolescence, and up until about 25 years old were a tragic but silent life. No one knew. I never told my story to anyone, because I knew they would attack me and no one would believe me. I kept my pain, sadness, tears, and physical and psychological abuse to myself, and suffered in silence until they killed me. A woman's heart is full of secrets she never tells. When I had my first home and job, things started to change, but I never forgot my first audition. They never let me give interviews about what I really felt. Hollywood never let me speak or do interviews, not long or short, or talk to the public comfortably. Ever since I lived in Hollywood, that house always